Welcome to Economics Trainer. This video was made to help you strengthen your skills in microeconomics. Here we have a sample question, care of brighttutoring.ca. It's the kind of question you'd expect to see on a test in a first-year microeconomics class. Let's work through it together. So here's the question. Consider a competitive market with a market supply curve of P equals 60 plus 1 times the quantity supplied, and a demand curve of market price P equals 180 minus 0.2 times quantity demanded. With that information, what we have to find is what happens to the market equilibrium when the government introduces a price floor policy of $120. And then again, we have to figure out what happens with a production quota of 240 units. Now, the thing is, both of these questions are going to end up having the same answer because these are failed market policies and won't actually end up working. Let me show you why. So here we have supply and demand. Let's graph it out to see what it looks like. Here we have quantity and price. So we look at our supply curve. Let's see, okay, it starts at 60 and increases from there. So here we have 60. And then we have our demand curve. Let's see, it starts at price 180 and decreases from there. So in the standard competitive equilibrium, before we have the market policies, this is where the invisible hand would put us. So let's figure that out, where our competitive equilibrium would be at supply is equal demand here. So let's find that initially. So here we have supply equals demand. Let's solve this out mathematically. We have 60 plus Q equals 180 minus 0.2Q. So let's put the quantity here on the left-hand side. So we get 1.2 Q. Let's see, over here we have 180 minus 60, so that'll be 120. And then we divide both sides by 1.2, we get the Q star is 100. So that's going to be this point down here. And then we take the 100, we go up, we hit supply or demand, doesn't matter at this point, and we go over here and we'll get the market equilibrium price. So let's see if we take this, let's plug it into supply curve because it's easier. So we have P equals 60 plus Q, which is 100. So the market equilibrium price, initially, it'll be 160. So that's where the market wants to be in the competitive equilibrium. And then when the market policies are introduced here, we'll see they aren't really effective compared to this initial setup here. So if we take a look at our price floor here, let's see, okay, if we have a price floor $120, okay, that's going to be below the 160 here. So let's put it here. And with a price floor, you can't go below. So the thing is here, it says, okay, you can't go below 120. Well, we were already at 160. So here, you're just going to go right back up to competitive equilibrium. And then over here, if we look at this quota here, we say, okay, the quota is at 240. So that's going to be way out here. Let's put this over here. Compared to the 100. And a quota is a limit, so you can't go above it. So you can't go here. So this would be the quota space. So it says, okay, you can't make more than 240. It's like, well, we're already making 100. So we're just going to stay there anyway. So what happens here is this is going to be a policy failure. So what happens in these questions here is the competitive market, price, and quantity are just going to be what they are in a competitive equilibrium. So we have 100 for the quantity, and the price is going to be the 160. For consumer and producer surplus, that's just the standard triangles that we have here and here. So let's see, we have consumer, and then producer is going to be in here. So let's figure that out. So we say, okay, consumer surplus is base times height divided by 2 for a triangle. Let's see, for the consumer surplus, we're going from here to here. So it'll be 0 to 100. So we have 100 for the base. And for the height, let's see, the height's going from here to here. So we have 180 to 160. So that's a gap of 20. And then divide by 2. So let's see, our consumer surplus here. Oh, the 2's will just cancel out. And we get 1,000. So that's that area up here. And then for producer surplus down here, we just do the same thing. It's very similar here. So see, for producer surplus, the base is the same, which is the 100. And then see, for the height of the triangle, we got to go from 160 to 60, so it'll be 100. So we have 100 times 50. So there you get 5,000. So since those are both maximized here, you can also see that we have a deadweight loss of 0 since we're still in the competitive equilibrium. So these end up being the same answers for both of the questions here. So when you go to consumer, you have the same answers for both. We have 1,000 and we have the 5,000 here. So let's see, consumer is 1,000 in each case. We have producer, and of course we have 0 deadweight loss. Since this is a market policy failure, that's the kind of trick question you tend to see with a lot of these questions on tests. And that's how you complete that question. This video is brought to you by people who like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You can also support my work by buying me a coffee.